Yeah, that was Panic by the Smiths, which is appropriate since Dave Woods had to dash in and make sure that everything was okay. Our man in Bassett just going out the door. You okay, Dave?
Hello, afternoon.
Yeah. You did a sterling job at the weekend at Wootton Bassett. What was it like?
I've got to say it was very, very emotional, and to say it was the right type of ceremony that took place. It was obviously commemorating that the 4.5 years that had taken place with the repatriations, and obviously getting the honour that Bassett had received in the Royal Charter. And it was nice to see that Princess Anne, who has close links with not only Lionel but Bassett, came on behalf of the Queen to give that special royal status. So yeah, it was a very special occasion. But the sun came out at the right moment, and say around about, I would say, between 8,000 and 10,000 people witnessed that historic event.
And there was sort of putting sort of current affairs into it as well. The brand new Defence Secretary was there.
Absolutely.
Probably didn't have a clue about anything because we hadn't had a chance to read any briefs or any red boxes yet. Philip Hammond.
Right. Philip Hammond in attendance, obviously replacing Dr. Liam Fox, who had resigned from the cabinet earlier that week.
Why was that then? Has something happened in the news lately?
I think so, yes.
I think I must have missed that one.
Hold on, we've got a cabinet? What? Why didn't you tell me?
But what a great story for Wootton Bassett, though. It was. I watched the coverage on the news, and absolutely superb. And I was reading, only the third town to receive a royal charter. The other two being, anyone know?
Royal Tunbridge Wells, I know.
And Leamington Spa.
Very good. Well, of course, you were there, so they told you why. and theirs was because they had healing waters.
Royal patronage.
And they got patronage. But so you imagine, it is really an incredible honour for Royal Wootton Bassett to have that bestowed upon it, given how rarely they are given. And the other thing is, do you know why they got it? Who came up with the idea?
I have no idea.
It was actually, it wasn't the Queen's idea. It was actually the Prime Minister's idea. The Prime Minister put the idea forward, according to my sources. So apparently he put the idea forward to Her Majesty, and she obviously agreed. And what a great day for Wootton Bassett. It must have felt quite strange, you having been there, because all the news reports were very keen to stress that Wootton Bassett wasn't celebrating, because obviously it's a weird thing to celebrate in a sense. So it must have been quite bizarre to have had that feeling where immense pride, but not wishing to celebrate too much because of the circumstances surrounding it.
I think, yes, in both speeches from both the Princess Royal and the town's mayor, Paul Healy, they both stressed that this was a commemoration of events and not a celebration. So it definitely was, that was the theme of the day. And in fact, the parade that took place after the unveiling of the Royal Status Charter, it was 150 personnel that paraded, I think it was, if I remember rightly, 355 steps away from the stage, which obviously depicted the amount of repatriations and the amount of service personnel that had been lost over the 4.5 years. So it was very precisely done. I know in some of the media also there was some criticism from the veterans who were there that they didn't take part in the parade itself. But talking to some of the town dignitaries, it was because of the significance of the numbers taking part that they weren't actually, the veterans and the standards weren't actually included in the main part of the Tri-Services parade. But as I say, after the Princess Royal had gone into the marquee and met some of the people that were associated with the repatriations, then the standards did march the length of the High Street. So they were involved, although not in particularly, I think, the parade that they wanted, but there was some slight criticism there.
Again, isn't it one of those things that when you look at if you looked on the news, on the websites and so on, the fact that this was watched from around the world, and again, it's one of those things where, as British, and again, not celebrating, but immense pride in the fact that we do these things very well.
We certainly
it's rather nice that we can recognise in a way with that sort of modesty and that sort of rather calm nature, but very precise, and using your word, well done.
There was something really odd actually about that, sort of from the sense of what you said, watching it on the TV, and I just saw a very small amount of it, the bit when she was on stage talking and she gave her speech, and behind her, it was a gorgeous day. It was like today. It was really sunny, really nice, and behind her was just the high street of Wootton Bassett. It seemed really sort of odd, but really quite quaint and quite nice. It was,
terribly English.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you were going to broadcast something around the world, an event, that's a really typically English, and not a lot of fuss. A little bit of fuss for the event, but then afterwards, like today, that high street will be back to normal. There'll be buses going out, people in the post office, all that type of thing.
And as the town mayor said at the time, even though they've got this royal status, local people will still call it Bassett. It's a local market town in the middle of an English countryside that will be called Bassett.
But great stuff, Dave. I know you overcame many different problems to sort out, bring our coverage from there. So well done to that. What is the next big live event? Do you reckon you're going to be covering? Any ideas?
Yes, we'll be live at the Cenotaph Remembrance Sunday. That's coming up in say a few weeks' time. So we'll be duly covering that. To say if people missed our coverage of the our Wootton Bassett ceremony, then Thursday at 3 o'clock we've got a special highlights programme which will capture the events of that Sunday as well.
Great, and we'll be preparing in the next few weeks for Remembrance Day as well. That'll be always worth listening to if you can't get there, that sense of being at an event, even if you listen or watch online even now. So very well done, Dave. And of course, you're always there. You're like our live events man.
There we go, yes.
Yeah. Okay, thanks very much. What was the link?
The link, rather tenuous, as most of my links usually are. You had Happy Hour from the House Martins, Panic by the Smiths, which I'm linking into Liam Fox and Adam Werrity.
That is just blatant current affairsism. I don't know what you'd call that.
We could use the other link, the fact that as I was putting those in, I was sat by the desk and both yourself and Alistair hadn't turned up, and I was in a blind panic.
I think that was a dig.
I've seen your tweet and I've seen the photo as to why you were slightly delayed.
Why was I? Hang on. Let me find a song first, and then we'll really get into this. And Alistair actually was as cutting it fine as I was, I have to say.
Oh, it's terribly showbiz from the pair of you.
As I sped past you walking
in his car, past me.
Yeah, not offering a lift, I might add.
Yeah, but so there we go. Here is Natasha Bedingfield. We'll come back and I'll explain why I was late, and I'll probably get slagged off for it. Here is Love Like This.